Also YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you probably my most successful Dark Magician build to date. So I went to my locals today and I went 5-0 and I faced some quite hard challenges. So I mean, my first matchup was DDDs, my second was Speedroids, which they may not be meta, but they can pump out synchros like no tomorrow. Like I was watching one of his games and ended up on first turn board having 2 crystal wings and 1 clear wing. Third matchup was against Cyber Angels. Fourth was against... Good question, what was it against? Oh, Dino Mist with Draco Power Engine, Draco Slayer Engine, and my fifth and final matchup was Odd Eyes Magicians. So, without further ado, I'll crack straight through to these. I'll go through some cards that I dislike in it, cards that I'm definitely going to be focused on, well, not so much dislike, but focus on that may be coming out, and then cards that absolutely put in so much work today. It was unreal. I mean, most of the plays today were kind of pure luck, a little bit of luck, and then just a little bit of just the Dark Magicians actually showing what they can do when they do go off. So, straight away, triple DMs. I've said this before, I've said this in all my decks. If you have the original art, play the original art. If not, just play. You have to play 3. There's no other way around it. Triple Magician of Dark Illusion. Now, obviously, he's treated as a Dark Magician on the field, so he sets off Circle, and then the combo plays you can do with stuff like Illusion Magic. I mean, if you navigate, get Dark Magician and Magician Black Illusion out, then Illusion Magic, Dark Magician, Magician of Black Illusion then goes back off to get the Dark Magician back from grave. So straight away you're getting 2 Dark Magicians to hand for free. Triple Rod, because this guy now has more targets than ever. In this build it now has Illusion Magic, free Circle, free Navigate, free Eternal Soul, Dark Magic Attack. So it definitely puts his work in. It definitely has the cards that it needs to search now with the release of Eternal Soul. Then I play 2 Chocolate Girl. Now I did have this at 3. 3 kind of sees Cloggy because you don't want to open up with her and you don't want to open up with 2 of her, because if you open up with... I mean, you do want to open up with her, but just not her on her own. And you don't want to open up with 2 of her because, yes, you discard to get the draw, but then her effect's redundant on the field, and the main reason you have her on the field is for protection of your monsters. Then I dropped out a Summoner Monk. Now I'll show you why later on. Further down we go. So I've got the 1 Summoner Monk, the 1 Elemental Hero Prisma. Now again, this is kind of he put in quite a lot of work today. Like it's questionable because I don't have Eye of Timaeus in my side or my main or anything. So the only reason that he's there, and the only reason that Dark Paladin is in my extra deck is just for the free Dark Magician dump. Now obviously, yes, you could put Foolish Burial in, take out Paladin, and put in another extra deck monster. By all means, you can do that. You can put... Obviously, I have had thoughts about putting Eye of Timaeus in my side and my extra today, but obviously today I didn't use it. I will go through at the end kind of alternative cards that you can play in the deck, just to try and get other feels from it. I mean, like I said before, if you haven't seen my previous videos, go check them out, because they may not be, in my personal opinion, they may not be as strong as this build is, but it certainly, it shows development and different ways and how the deck's just grown from each release, because I have played this from the start since the new support came out in Dark Illusions. Obviously I played it long before that, but you can see how everything changes. Now the one that I dropped the Summoner Monk for was the 1 Silent Magician. Now I do give a big shout out to Ollie of Tier 0 and Dark Arts. He kind of mentioned this and I wasn't really too sure. I looked at it and then I don't know if I want to bump this up to 2 or not. I didn't see this as enough to kind of say that it's been fully tested, but when I did see it, it put in its work. Because, I mean, your rods and your chocolate, if you do open up with chocolate and silent in hand, then okay, you've got a free, you bump out chocolate, you go into silent, and you've done your ditch, you've got your draw, whatever, or you can just ditch it and draw. And then obviously with rod, you just go straight over rod, dump Silent Magician Gale down, and then, so Silent Magician gives you a free spell negate, it gains 500 attack for each card in your hand, and then when it's destroyed, you can special summon a Silent Magician from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So in my, I believe it's in my side. Nope, it's not in my side. So it's another one of them cards that I have. There it is. It's in the cards that I will show you what you can add into. Now, I'll show you what you would take out. So Silent Magician's there. Now, I play the one Mahad. Now, if you wanted to put the level 8 in there, I would take the Mahad out because it does brick when you have too many big cards in there. Now, the reason I've kept Mahad in is 60% of the time I'll open up with him in my hand. The only one will open up in my opening hand and he's dead there until I get into a Twin Twister or a Chocolate Girl to dump him. However, the 40% that I do see him and do top deck him, he wins me the game. That's my biggest issue with Mahad. Like, he's so fluky with me, but also so bad. So the 40% that I see him, I top deck him, drop him down, that's it, a game. He won me against DDDs. He also put in quite a bit of work in my last matchup because obviously they destroyed him. Dark Magician came out, circle on board, banish. So they destroyed him with raigeki. And obviously the thing is with Mahad, circle activates on a different chain. So the circle effect where it's not during the damage step, because it goes Mahad destroyed Dark Magician out, is end of that damage step, end of that battle phase. On the new chain, the circle activates to get the banish to go off. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could take the Silent Magician out for that. You could take the Mahad out for the Silent Magician level 8. Or if you really want to, you could probably drop... I wouldn't advise it, but you could drop one of these down for the Silent level Magician 8. Now, the other card monster I dropped out was I dropped out another Maxx. Now, I've always had a bit of an issue with Maxx. Like, I get why it's played, I understand why it's played, and don't get me wrong, I've absolutely loved it because it has, in this deck, sometimes helped out massively, especially if you get Mahad off of Maxx. However, top decking it is the worst when you're in a bit of trouble, or if you're trying to catch back up. Top decking it is the worst if you've got an empty board and empty field. I have got the second one in the side. Now again, if your opponent isn't a heavy special summoner, then yeah, you can take Maxx out and put in the level 8 if you want to. Again, wouldn't advise it. You could bump up Summon a Monk back to 2, or you could put Silent Magician to 2 just so you see it more often. However, it's a love-hate relationship with Maxx. It's a bit like Marmite. I understand why people like it. I understand why people use it, but sometimes it does leave a sour taste in your mouth if your top deck can change the game and it turns out to be a Maxx, it kind of kills it. But yeah, that's it for the monster lineup. Pretty standard, little few changes in there. Now, from the monster lineup, obviously what I've said before is Maxx is a questionable card. You can take that in, you can leave it in, take it out, leave it in, whatever you like. The Silent Magician Girl is another one that throughout today I either want to bump it up just to see it more or I want to drop it down. Elemental Hero Prisma, as much as most people will see it as it's just in there for a Foolish Burial to get Dark Magician to grave, he did work out so much today. Dumping the Magician and then making my Eternal Souls active was just unreal. So yes, there is arguable questions that you could take Elemental Hero out for a Silent Magician or a Summon a Monk if you want to. And obviously the main play is you would normal summon a Monk, effect, special summon, hit Prisma, dump Dark Magician, overlay those two into an Emerald, bring your Dark Magician out. So if you go in second, you've got a circle on board and they haven't got a response to stop any of this special summoning, you're banishing a card already. But that's all if buts and maybes. But that's kind of why Prisma's in there. It does, I think the biggest risk of it, or the biggest gamble, or just the biggest pain is that it not only does it take up a main deck space, it takes up an extra deck space. But obviously if you have Eye of Timaeus in, it's better. The one other good thing with Elemental Hero Prisma is when you send Dark Magician, it basically becomes Dark Magician, so it makes your Dark Magic attacks active in a level 4 play. Now onto the spells. Triple Circle. There's not much more to say about this card. You have to play this card. I feel sorry for all the Dark Magician players out there that want to play it for fun because this card is rocketed in price again. This card is... There's a trio of cards that you really need. Triple Dark Magical Circle, Triple Navigation, and Triple Eternal Soul. Eternal Souls, if you're not buying the starter decks, are about £8 each. I could be wrong, they might have changed. Navigations are about 18 to 20 each in UK pounds, and Circles are floating between 23, 25 to pushing onto 30 quid. I understand why, because they are important in the deck. You have to play them in this deck if you're doing it to build this way. But again, it's hurting those that want to play it for nostalgia reasons. Now, the second MVP of the day, or the main MVP of the day, is Triple Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Now, I did gamble with this card a lot. My friend mentioned this to me. He was testing his deck the other day, and he said that you don't need terraforms in it because you see it so consistently. And I was like, no, there's no way. Like, unless you go like Dark Magicians, you want to go first, but unless you're opening with this card, you're stuck. It wasn't until playing it today that I realised how right he was. The amount of times I opened up with this card, or with the ability of Circle, was able to stack it ready to go. And then I was quite fortunate that all my matchups, apart from the Magician Odd Eyes, was non-spellcaster players. So straight away, if I dump this down, get a chocolate on field, dump the chocolate effect, I'm kind of safe for that turn. And this killed the Cyber Angel player. It slowed down massively the Draco Slayer player. It hurt the DD player, even though he did get Hamon out, the GX version of Winged Dragon of Ra, in his first turn, which was quite impressive. So I do give him a big thumbs up for that. It was just a little tech that he tried out, and it paid off for him in that game. Luckily enough, I drew into raigeki. But Secret Village of Spellcaster is such a big gamble because the way I see it is, if you have Circle on board and then Navigation, Eternal Soul set, you're kind of in a bit of protective state because you activate this, you've got Circle active. If they drop a Spellcaster, all you need to do is activate a Navigation or Eternal Soul, bring out your Dark Magician and banish that Spellcaster. Then you're safe for that turn and they still can't activate spell effects. And then they're stuck trying to get past a 2500 beta or a 2500 defender with Black Illusion from Dark Illusion, sorry, with Navigation. So it's a gamble card, but for me today it really paid off. And the fact that it's become a lot easier to get in the Yu-Gi Legendary decks, it makes it more viable for other people to play. I don't think I saw this in the Magician Odd Eyes play. Now, when I get to my side deck, I weirdly kept these in just for a win because obviously the main monsters he was bringing out were like Odd Eyes, so I could have kept these in and kept in anti-spells. So anyway, on to the next two cards. So the only draw card in the deck is Pot of Duality. Now, yes, you could argue that Allure or Stars of the Seven Sword is probably a better choice. However, I really don't like the fact of banishing. Like, I don't like the fact of banishing the main monsters that I need. I mean, Mahad, yes, is kind of like a throwaway card if I draw into it. Allure is good to draw into your 2 and hope you draw a dark, especially if you stack it with Circle. However, the gamble of banishing my Dark Magician or my Magician of Dark Illusions was it's just not worth it for me. So Pot, to be fair, I saw myself taking Pots out. Pots were the first things to come out when I was side decking, purely because I didn't see them as much as I wanted to, and the hindrance of special summoning was it wasn't a big issue, but like 9 times out of 10, if I opened up this with Summon a Monk, I was dumping this for Summon a Monk's effect anyway, rather than using it, and it kind of paid off. But yeah, 2 Pot of Dualities is the only kind of like draw power apart from Maxx in this deck. Now, there are builds out there that are playing Kaijus in there, which the Sticky Kaiju, the Spider, and Raiden, because both of those are targets for 7 swords, and Raiden is a target for Allure, which is perfectly fine, because Kaijus help out massively in today's meta, especially when people are bringing out big boards that can negate. Nothing against that, that's just the way it's built. Now, for back row destruction, I play 1 Dark Magic attack because it's searchable, it's a heavy storm, and it's just so easy to play now. I do have a second one, and I think it might not be in my side, it might be in my the other cards that you can add into the deck. I did have it at 2, but I've kind of gone for a 1-1-1 kind of setup. Now, Dark Magic attack, again, like I said, it's a Harpy's Feather Duster for the deck. It's amazing, it's really good, but it's not a quick play. Whereas if you're stuck and you have, I like the MST for top decking. Like if they've got something locking me out, top deck the MST, gone. That's it. Cool. Twin Twister, if you open up with a Mahad, you've got a discard fodder. If you open up with a Dark Magician, if you open up with 2 Dark Magicians, you've got more discard fodder. So the Twin Twister isn't the end of the world, and it's quite a nice card to play. And again, because it's a quick play, it then activates Magician of Dark Illusion in your hand. So Hence the fact I've got a 1-1-1. Now, obviously, if my opponent isn't heavy at back row, then I'll take some of these out. That's not an issue. I have put in, since yesterday, a Dark Magic Veil. So, I did take this out because of the pot, and after watching yesterday, I keep saying yesterday, so just to clarify, I think this video is going out Monday. Now, at Saturday local that I went to, I saw them playing this, and again I was like, well, why aren't I playing it? Why did I take it out? And I've put it back into one. Now, I only saw it once today, but again, it won me the last game. So it was the last game, we were playing for top, and it was Odd Eyes Magicians, and he was kind of concerned about my face down, which was this. I activated it, brought my Dark Magician out, and went for game. So it helped me out today. I'll definitely keep it a 1. And it's kind of like your alternative Call of the Haunted. Now, I was considering putting a Call of the Haunted in here, just because my Call of the Haunted can then target my Dark Illusion, my Chocolate Girl, and Mahad if it's in Grave. But I've kind of kept it like this at the moment, and this is my quick play to target my Dark Illusion. So this could easily, if you wanted to, come out for a Call of the Haunted, but the fact for a top deck spell is so much better. I mean, if you've got a circle on board but nothing else, you top deck this. As long as you've got 1,000 life points to spare, you bring out a Dark Magician, you're banishing, and off you go. So, I mean, even then, you bring out Dark Illusion, activate Circle, banish, and then you bring out Dark Magician from Grave as well. 1 Illusion Magic, like, you can easily up this to 2, no arguing about that. Now, the good combo, like I said before, is you navigate Dark Magician, Dark Illusion, Illusion Magic, Dark Magician, get 2 Dark Magician's hand, Dark Illusion effect, bring back the Dark Magician. So you're just constantly circling around, really good card. And the 1 raigeki just for board wipe and troublesome cards, or, like I had to do quite a bit today, it's an alternative for baiting out infinities and stuff like that, because they don't, like, you're either getting that out, your villagers, spellcasters, or you're getting out your circle. Now on to Triple Navigation. Again, such a good card. It didn't see as much as I wanted to today, but it did help me push for OTKs. It did help me. I never used its negation effect from Grave because it wasn't really in there long enough. I think that's the one downside to it. But I mean, if its downside of not being able to be banished to turn its scent wasn't there, it would be broke as hell because, you know, constantly protection. Now onto the brand new card. Again, really nice boss card. I say boss in the sense of like main deck card, puts its work in. Eternal Soul. Now, obviously, the search out of Harpy's Feather Duster, amazing. The reviving Dark Magicians, you're making your Dark Magicians unaffected, again, amazing. Obviously, its biggest weakness is, second this is gone, blows up your entire monster field. So, again, if, buts, and. So, it can hurt you, but it can also help you massively. Like, so much. You activate it into your opponent's turn, bring a Dark Magician back from Grave. You draw into a Dark Magician, you activate this, you special summon that Dark Magician out. The best combo you can do is you have 2 Dark Magicians on field, overlay both Dark Magicians into Ebon Illusion, detach, get a Dark Magician on field, Eternal Soul, bring Dark Magician back from Grave. You now have 75 on board with a free banish. So you've got Ebon, let me get my Ebon out. You have an Ebon, you have 2 Dark Magicians that are unaffected by opponent's card effects, declare an attack with that, effect to that to banish. You've cleared a monster, let's say they've got a clear board now, you go through for 75, you overlay into Red Eyes Flare, that's it, guess game, they can't do anything. Unless they top deck amazingly and ruin your day. But yeah, that's kind of like how good Eternal Soul now makes the deck, it makes it so much better. Now, 2 Quaking Mirror Force, can't argue with this card, love this card so much, would easily put it up to 3, and obviously you can start using Ebon High a bit more, because you can start playing Quakings from hand, which turning your traps into hand traps is amazing. But Quaking saved me a couple of times, both today. I keep getting it wrong, so I do apologise. This has helped me in my locals, both locals that I went to, it helped me out massively, so gotta love Quaking Mirror Force, it's probably one of the best Mirror Forces out there. And then 1 Solemn Strike, 1 Solemn Warning. Saw Warning a hell of a lot more than I did Strike, which is absolutely fine with me. Some people might want to bump up the strikes, again, that's entirely up to you. It's kind of how you like to play the deck. This build, like I said, today suited me and helped me out massively. Right, so now onto the extra deck. So the one Dark Paladin, again, maybe a bit of a wasted space for Prisma, but it helped me out massively today, so I can't complain about Prisma at all. 2 Ebon Illusion Magician, the best extra deck card for this deck. So amazing. Detach, Special Summon Dark Magician. When a normal spellcaster declares an attack, banish 1 card on the field. Cowboy won me a game today. I know it's not pretty, but some victories aren't always pretty. Diagusto Emerald, the amount of times I saw this to bring a Dark Magician back from grave, just to get circle off or anything like that is amazing. Ebon High, didn't go into him today at all. It's a real shame because you do tend to go into Ebon Illusion just to push the OTK. However, you know, he's still a nice card to have at least one. Red Eyes Flare, like I told you, it can help you push for the game and just to burn your opponent off, and obviously the 2800 attack doesn't hurt it at all. Big Eye, to steal other people's Big Eyes. No, again, it's one of the best level 7s or rank 7s in the game, and this deck can abuse them. Again, with Mecha Phantom Beast, dracossack, you very rarely go into these cards, but you go into these cards in dire situations and they change the game for you, which is why they're there. One Castell, didn't go into him today, but again, generic rank 4. Another generic rank 4 in Abyss Dweller. Performage, Trapeze Magician, a really good rank 4. Now, I don't know how much you go into these rank 4s now that we have this. Now, again, people can argue that it's a 2 extra deck wasted space, but Utopia and Utopia the Lightning. Now, it basically, in my deck, in my previous builds, I only had 1 out to Chaos Max, which was Mahad. Now, with these and 2 Quakings, I now have 4 cards out to Mahad. Now, not Mahad, sorry, to Chaos Max and big boards. So, it's really easy to make because you just use Summon a Monk and whatever card you bring out. Utopia, then Lightning, Detach, and he's a 5k Amades. Not much more needs to be said about him. Again, he's questionable. You could take him out. I have taken out my entire Master Stage 2 engine, which was disappointing, but I kind of saw that the fun was kind of over with them. As nice as it was, the fact that I only had like 3 targets for Dark Claw and only 2 for Acid, and Acid is the best thing Acid can do is obviously Dark Magic attack and then decrease their attack. So the Dark Magic attack was a lot easier to play. And then the final one is the Phantom Knight Breaksword for the rods. Now again, you can take this out for another 47 if you want to, but you can even put another Red Eyes in, anything like that. So again, that's completely up to you how you build your extra deck. Again, you can take out Dark Paladin, you've got an extra space in there. This is just how it felt best for me. Right, now we're going to my side deck. So as you can see, I sided out Vanity's Emptiness because as good of a card as it is, I just felt that it was probably better as a side deck in my build. And it worked out fine to me. I think I only put it in once. Santa Claus. Now, yes, this could easily be a kaiju. No arguing about that. I just thought I'd give it a try. Never saw it today. Never used it today. But I just thought it'd be quite nice to tribute off. And then get the draw in the end phase. But again, it's a iffy card because when you're putting Sticky down, you can clearly beat over Sticky, not an issue. The level 7 Kaiju monster. Raiden you can't beat over, it's a 28 beater, so you're going to struggle with that until you get into Mahad or if you get into Utopia the Lightning and stuff like that. But Santa Claus was something I'd like to try out. I would like to actually see it in a game and then be able to give you a full breakdown of whether it worked or not. 2 Sturgeon Dirge. Now, obviously, this hurts Bitwise quite a bit because it drops their levels. They struggle to XE and they struggle to Synchro. And it can slow down some Synchro decks, not massively if they have a range of Synchros, but mainly it stops out the XYZ summons and really slows down the deck. 2 Rivalry of the Warlords. Didn't use it today. It probably doesn't need to be in here. You can take this out easily because most decks nowadays, they're all kind of like a one type or attribute, one type kind of decks, so you can kind of lose those. They don't need to be in there. The second Maxx, with the ability of OTKs, and I knew that there was a high chance I was going to play my friend's Dolce build, I had to put in some OTK stoppers, and I prefer Speedroid Menko, not only because it shuffles everything to defense, it's also a level 4, so I can get into Lightning if I need to, and other cards like that. Now, obviously, Battlefad is absolutely fine, and so is all the other stuff. But Menko is probably my best personal choice. It's not as busted as the rest. It can be stopped a lot easier, but I prefer Menko. that's just personal taste. Now a card that's probably going to see quite a lot of play, especially in a Dark Magician matchup, is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Now obviously they can activate the circle and then you're popping it. They can activate their Eternal Soul and then you're popping it and then the field's blowing up. And then obviously it helps out with every other card that activates effect and stays on the field. So again, I didn't see this today, but it's a really nice kind of use of the card, and it's probably more effective than Effect Veiler at this moment in time. Like these can easily be Effect Veilers. I did juggle over it. I just thought the cards that stay on the field a lot longer. It's probably better with Ghost Ogre. 2 Prohibition because it can lock out any deck, or not lock out any deck. It can slow down any deck. If you target their boss card or their main card, or if their deck revolves around one card, you lock it out of Prohibition. And then obviously if you've got Village of the Spellcasters and Circle on board, there's 3 spell cards that your opponent wants to target, and they can't without a Spellcaster. So, and then 2 Anti-Spell. You might go, what the hell? You're playing Anti-Spell in a Dark Magician deck that runs a heck of a lot of spells. Some of your spells are quick play spells. So they're kind of what you want to be targeting most. And those that aren't quick play spells, I think Anti-Spell kills pendulums. It stops them dead. They can't do absolutely anything. If you have Circle active, Secret Village of the Spellcasters active, and then you dump an Anti-Spell on them, they are going to struggle so much. So much. I mean, I had an Anti-Spell and Secret Village against Cyber Rangers today. They were dead. They couldn't do anything. And that's just pure luck through the cards that I drew into. Obviously, I stacked the Anti-Spell with Circle and helped get into that sooner. But yeah, that's kind of that. Now, just on to other cards that you can put into the deck. So obviously you can bump up Illusion Magic. You got Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer. Obviously, he's quite a nice one to put in, especially with Village of the Spellcasters, because you can sit on him and then do damage and banish 2. Silent Magician level 8. DD Crows. They can easily go in. The Master Change 2 engine if you want to play that, bumping up your Dark Magic attack. Now I did have Barrier Statues. Now this can really hurt Blue Eyes because some Blue Eyes, only some though, because some don't play the Manjus if they're not doing the Chaos Max version, and some don't really have a huge monster that can beat over 1,000, believe it or not. There are some builds do, some builds don't. So the second you drop this on them, they can't special summon any light monsters, so they're kind of stuck and they can't get around it. So yeah, he's kind of like a little tech for Blue Eyes. Obviously the Eyes of Timaeus, another DD Crow. Another Dark Magic Veil, you can bomb that up quite easily. Second Master Change. 2 Floodgate Trap Holes. Now I can't tell if I really like these or not. It's best against pendulums because it's a quaking for pendulums. But other than that, unless the flip down of the one monster just isn't good enough for me. I like locking their boards out. 2 Effect Veilers, just in case you want to swap them out for your Ghost Ogres. Second Summon a Monk, 3rd Chocolate Girl. 2 Magic Drains, because sometimes pendulums don't have the spells in hand, so they're going to activate all their spells first, then they'll activate their scales, and then as soon as you hit that on their scale, they then have to discard a spell or let that one be destroyed. Magic Shielding does, because for a bit of fun. I've never actually used it or pulled it off yet. I just thought it's such a nice old school card that it would be really nice to be able to drop this on someone if they're trying to push the game. But yeah, Second Strike, and then the one Call of the Haunted that I was considering putting in for the other alternatives to take out for a Dark Magic Veil, or just to gain access to more in my my graveyard. So yeah, that's the Dark Magician deck. Again, it did me really proud and really well today and went undefeated. Again, there are some cards in there that I would like to take out and some that I might consider adding in or bumping up. So yeah, let us know what you think of the deck in the comments below. It's been a long day, guys, sorry. Let me know what you think of the deck in the comments below. Yeah, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up on the deck, on this video in general. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on anything. We've got so much coming up, it's unreal, especially with the crazy release list of Konami. Also check out our giveaway in the link in the description below for a Yu-Gi Legendary Deck 2. So we've got one of those to give away to one lucky winner, and that ends, thanks to the guys at Lost Ark, and that ends on Thursday coming up. So when this video goes out, you will have 3 days to enter, I believe. So get your entries into that, it's so easy. Check the video out, find out how to enter, and it couldn't be easier to try and win one of these. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. And as always, guys, happy dueling. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner. So thanks for watching this video, we hope you can join us some more, and as always, happy dueling guys.